Hello again, everyone. This is Joe, and this is Beyond the Chart Stock Market Today. Today is Monday, June 15th. We're going to take a look at the market action today. Look at our indices, our indicators, four stocks actually today: Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, and Yahoo. Okay, the Dow was down 107 points today. It was down a lot more than that at one point, and of course a lot of the focus was on Greece. And with the breakdown in the negotiations talks on the debt, and so that's holding, kind of a big negative. And there's just a lot of unknowns, a lot of unknowns in terms of how is Greece going to impact things, who's tied into Greece that we don't even know about. And, what kind of rippling effect is this going to have? So that's why this is unnerving the market, naturally. I have seen no reason to change my Elliott wave count that I've got in here. And yes, I've got this as a working a wave 1 down with intermediate wave 5 complete up here. So I've got a minute wave 1 and a minute wave 2, and then we have sub-minuet. let's just say 1 degree lower, okay, in terms of 1-2. So it looks like we're working a 1-2, 1-2 in my opinion. And so it's so far doing nothing to make me think otherwise. And if it does, we'll look at what it may be doing in terms of an alternate wave count. The S&P 500, same kind of thing. It's breaking down out of this ending diagonal. Same kind of action. Yeah, it came back. Halfway the second half of the trading session, but still, closed down, 9.68 points on the day. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, closed above its open in here with this white candlestick, but was down 21.1 points on the day. You've got the 10 breaking below the 21, so the short-term trend is turning down. The intermediate and long-term trends are still higher here on the NASDAQ. And again, NASDAQ and the Russell have been the two stronger ones, and we'll see whether or not they start to break down. And it can happen pretty doggone fast. The New York Composite, same thing. Not the same thing as the Nasdaq, but similar to the Dow and the S&P 500. A doji bar. Let me blow it up a little more, as you can see in here. But definitely a gap down with the price action this morning, and then of course it didn't come back up and fill it by any means at all. So it didn't take out the low. So we'll just have to see what kind of follow through we get tomorrow. The last one we'll take a look at is the Russell 2000. And, this looks like it's kind of reversed up, but that to me is not a reversal bar. A reversal bar would have been a much higher close, closing above, maybe closing positive, maybe partially engulfing this bar here. It didn't do any of that, so we'll see. It's kind of a long-legged doji bar, doji man. But again, the Russell 2000 has been acting, the 10 is above the 21, above the 55, above the 233. I mean, they're all aligned to the high side. So hasn't broken down yet, hasn't rolled over. Short-term trading index. So, it's like, you got to take what the market is telling you. It is what it is. The short-term trading index has bounced back into the middle here. We're definitely neutral now. We got very close to being really strongly in the extreme bullish reading, but we didn't get it. And we're back into that neutral reading. The VIX really jumped up here. Let me extend this trend line to the right. And you can see we're back right up to this trend line. That's kind of a neckline of this bottoming action in here. I think that's really, really interesting that that's happening. We break out here, and it will be a really big negative for the market, I think. And it'll be an indication that the market is definitely breaking down. And let's see, McClellan Oscillator is the next one we'll take a look at. But I need to go back to the New York Composite to look at the McClellan Oscillator. Okay, so I've got it here. So we were oversold, we got the bounce, and then we came back down here where our reading is minus 108. So we're not up here at the zero. We're still in the negative on the McClellan Oscillator, but we're not back in oversold yet. Okay. And then the last one we'll take a look at that's related to this is the high yield bond fund. So you can see how we were kind of clustering sideways from June 5th, which was so all of last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. We kind of just went sideways. Friday was a little more down. And then today was a big breakdown. So again, the risk off scenario continues. And, you know, I've talked about how this is so divergent with what the stock market's doing. You could see how in the December action was way below the October action. And, you know, the major indices did not do this price action. This was the low on the major indices. So we took out this low here in December. We've bounced. We didn't even come close to going to new highs. We're going in the other direction here. So we are going, you know, again, this is what's going on in the background. This is what's happening. You know, money is coming out of the high yield bond fund. All right, let's take a look at the stocks tonight. Facebook. Haven't looked at this in a while. May 9th is the last time I profiled this, I believe. So, you know, it's been pushing higher in like a choppy sideways action or sideways to up. But when I look at this, I still think we're working 5 primary waves up. And so we're some kind of corrective action going on here. And who knows how it's going to really unfold. And we've got this little trend line to pull back down to. I had this trend line drawn. I didn't put this in here tonight. So it's interesting how it came right to the trend line today and then it pulled back up off of it. So we've got the 21 below the 55 in here, the 10's back above, and we'll just see. Let's take a look at the indicators real quick. RSI, not really telling me a whole lot, except, you know, the reading is below 50, but I'm not seeing a major divergent type thing. And boy, this is overlapping choppiness. That's not telling me a whole lot. And this is right at the neutral line. So anyway, that's the picture on Facebook. I'd be watching to see if it broke through that trend line, and that's what I'd be looking for. Twitter. So all the news about new CEO stepping down July 1st, the old guy coming back, and Twitter continues to go down. So, you know, the trend is what it is. I mean, the short-term and intermediate trend is solid down. The 233, you'd have to say, is basically been sideways. I mean, put my crosshairs back on. If you look at this, the 233 is about where it was back here in January. You know, it's really, you've had some big swings, yes. And so now down here, we're getting some, I mean, look at on the demand index, the bullish divergence that's showing up. The same thing on the DI minus. And, you know, a lot of times when it crosses this ADX, like I've seen this, a lot of times that means the selling has finished or close to finishing, but it didn't happen here yet. Now, yeah, you could say we got some divergence on the RSI, but the way this price action, you really need it to turn up. And again, indicators are indicators just because they, you know, again, they're like little flags going up. But the price action is the most important thing. So we need the price to turn around if this is going to start heading up. And what is it doing? You know, it just took out this low. It took out this low here. So when I let's look at all the trading. Here's all the trading on Twitter. Okay. So went to a major new low here, rallies back, did not go to a new high, came down, did not go to a new low here, did not go to a new high here, and then breaks down, takes out this low. So now the real question is going to be, you know, are we going to get a continuation down or what's happening? But right now, short-term intermediate trend is to the downside. I've got a wave count that's working a wave, you know, to the downside. And that's just the way it looks to me right now. You know, big swings, we could get something else developing, but, you know, right now the trend is down. All right, the next one we'll take a look at is Yelp. And Yelp had this big move we talked about, you know, again, when there was some rumors, I think, of possible takeover. I can't remember exactly what that was in here. It broke above this previous low and took off like a rocket. Now, it's really tempting to sit back and say, well, wow, maybe we got some kind of, flag going on, price action, and you can almost, draw some lines in here and say that. I would feel more comfortable doing that if this high was above this high, okay? But because it's not, I'm not going to do that. It just, it doesn't give me a high degree of comfort to do that. And so right now, these things look like they're rolling back down. And we got the short term and the intermediate is to the downside. And actually, all three, the long term, short term, and intermediate term are all to the downside still. And this basically rolled back over and broke back down. So I have a hard time getting positive on Yelp right now. And we'll just see what it does. And the last one we'll take a look at tonight is Yahoo, and boy, it has been rolling over also. The interesting thing on Yahoo, a couple of things. Well, number one, since January or May 19th, all of the trading has been within the trading range of what happened on May 19th. Okay, look at all these bars are inside of this huge wide-ranging bar that occurred on May 19th. So, what does that mean? I don't know, except for the fact that it's kind of like directionalist kind of thing. It's just like chopping sideways, trying to digest and figure out what it's going to do. It hasn't gone to a new low, it hasn't gone to a new high. It looks like it's trying to go to a new low in terms of the way it's rolling over in here. And when I back out on the picture, it seems to me that we're in a fourth primary wave, which is a corrective wave, which would correct all of this third primary wave. I think we had pretty clear 5 waves up in here, and that we would be coming back down. And so I would expect that, if it's going to correct all of this wave 3, and you can look back, here's wave 1, we're coming from the 2008 low down here. It looks like 1, 2, 3, and it looks like we're doing a fourth. And if that's the case, there's a good chance it's going to come back down into the lows of the fourth intermediate wave of the previous cycle. So that would be down here around 35, and right now that's the way it's trending and wanting to act. So let me take a look at something. Okay, so that's basically my reading on Yahoo at the moment, and that's going to be it for tonight. I'll be back on Wednesday with another market update. We'll take a look at some of the international indices on Wednesday. We'll just see what happens. I know the Federal Reserve has got a meeting that starts tomorrow, ends on Wednesday, and then the chairman, Yellen, will have a conference call on Wednesday afternoon. Not a conference call, press conference, after they release their verdict on what they're going to do on interest rates. So that's going to be getting the market's attention, and of course Greece has got everybody captivated in terms of what's going on there. So, all right, this has been Joe. If you're watching this video anywhere else but my website, head on over to the website, check it out, and they've got trade ideas page and posts and all that good stuff. And if you're not a subscriber, it's very easy to do. First name and email, and you'll be good to go. I hope everyone has a great Wednesday. I'll be back with you on Wednesday night.